Yeah, we're just excited to be part of the NCAA tournaments. Really difficult to get in this event, and we've had a great year, and so we get to play a good opponent, VCU, and we're really excited and looking forward to playing tomorrow.
Okay.
John Coons, Sports Exchange. Looking at just the defensive success that your team has had this year, number 2 in the nation in scoring defense, where does this group rank for you as the head coach in terms of their strength as a defensive unit?
Yeah, it's probably this year this is probably one of our best, if not our best, defensive team. These guys have done a good job, just kind of improving from week to week, and I think as a group they do what they're asked every day, and I can't tell you how far that goes. They're really coachable and they have great attitudes, and I think that's why we're good defensively. I think that's why we're good at the other end too.
Hey Randy, Tim Burrell with the Richmond Times-Dispatch. How did you get that? What was the genesis of the Australian pipeline for you?
It was lucky. It was we took a kid. My first year when I came in there, I got the job in April, and we still had 2 scholarships in August. And there's a kid from Australia that had some Division IIs recruiting him, but he wanted to come over here, and we were like the only Division I offered. I'd never seen him play, so we took him. His name was Adam Caporn. He ended up being good, and he told us he had a buddy back home that was 6'10" that he thought might be able to help us, and he ended up being all-time leading scorer at St. Mary's. His name was Daniel Kickert. So from there, we just and that was lucky. It was a stroke of luck that we came across that. We were smart enough to develop that pipeline, and Patty Mills showed up sometime shortly thereafter, and then the floodgates opened.
Vic from the San Francisco Chronicle. Joe mentioned how having 2 point guards kind of interchangeable helps you guys out a lot. How much does that help you in terms of your offense and getting the looks you want on offense?
Yeah. We're 2 smart point guards. Those guys are really they're coaches on the floor, so it helps a lot. I don't really have to discuss much with them during the game. They're pretty much running it out there, and so it's yeah, we played that way before. We had McConnell and Dellavedova. It's very similar to that. Same kind of guys, high IQ guys. They just take care of the ball and get us in things offensively. They're making calls on their own out there. So it's yeah, I think it's probably the biggest key to why we're successful offensively.
Tim Burrell again. What are your impressions of VCU, and what do you need to do well against them?
My impressions of them are we know their program as far as just national tradition. They're good. You're in, you're out, and I think every school in the country knows VCU basketball is a high level, and it has been for a long time. So we have a lot of respect from that way. I have never studied the program up close. We've never played them. So it's fun to finally get to see a team like that and study them and watch film on them, trying to figure out what makes them special. And a lot of things. It's never one thing, but they force 14 turnovers a game. They're quick. They get after you. They're opportunistic defensively. So I think that, and they're a load on the boards. So they can get the game up tempo, and they're very good rebounders. A lot of teams have good athletes. These guys are good rebounders. They go after the ball. They do a great job coaching rebounding, because it just doesn't happen. You just don't get guys that go and get the ball. You have to coach it. So they are those are the things. I think they get after you defensively, and they get steals. They make it hard. There's no easy passes, and then when the ball goes up on the rim, they're pretty tough.
Down here.
Kareem Copeland, AP. makes Jock so unique and special and led to his success this year?
What led to his success is he worked hard and he has a great attitude. So I would say that across the board on our team, and as good as I've been around as a coach. But he wanted to be good, so he worked at whatever it took. It wasn't like we were pulling teeth to get him to work hard. He's very willing to be coached. He's very willing to make the sacrifices he has to be good. He dropped about 10 pounds. I'm not sure if the pounds made the difference as much as the getting in shape, and he became more athletic. And so he's 6'11", and I think when we got him, he's like 275, maybe a tad more, but he's about 253, 254 now. So he just became a better athlete. He used his body that way to get better athletically, and that helped him defensively, which enabled us to put him on the court more. And if he's on the court, he's going to do some good things offensively. He has always known how to score. Now he's improved. And our assistant coach Marty Clark is very good with developing bigs, and he's spent a lot of time with Jock and the other bigs. But Jock's just improved. He's improved because he's worked. He's become a better passer. He's unselfish. He's really improved as a defender. So, yeah, there's a lot of things he's done, but most of it is just his attitude towards, hey, this is what I needed. He's the guy who comes to me and says, Coach, what do I have to do to be better? What do I have to do to go to the next step? And I'm not talking about NBA. I'm talking about the next step as a player that can help you win a conference championship or get you to the NCAA, and he did.
Lynn Worthy from the Salt Lake Tribune. Coach, VCU's done pretty well in some close games. They had a couple of games that they pulled out, I think, with like a second left. What does a team, or does a team take something from success in close games throughout a season like that?
That's funny you're asking me, because we have had hardly any close games this year. So you get confidence that you can play in those games, I think. You've been there. You're not nervous. You know you can win them, and they are. I've seen it. They've been down 16 or 17 recently, and they come back and they get that game down to a 2-point game and have a shot to win it. So that's one of the things that we commented on as a coaching staff is these guys they're hard to get rid of. They keep coming. And I think some of it's the style they play. They're just going to keep coming at you defensively and on those boards and in transition. And obviously they have some guys that are stud leaders that have high belief. And I would imagine, I don't know their team like their coach does, but I would imagine their point guard, Lewis, is one of those guys. So, you win in those games gives you confidence in case you're playing another one.
Greg Hansen, Arizona Daily Star. What's the process of proper film study for a game with this quick of a turnaround?
This first game? Well, actually, for this first game, we have a lot of time. So we found out who we played Sunday. I don't know. You need 2 or 3 days to get a pretty good prep on them. So we feel like we have enough time. I don't know. We went to work on it on Monday. So we'll watch film Monday, Tuesday, today. And you're starting to, for us, probably 48 hours before we start sharing that with our players. For the first, coaches have to figure out what the heck we're going against, and then we try and get our players gradually to have a feel for the team they're about to play. And like today, we watched film for the first time of them with our players. So we pretty much kept it the same way we do every game in the season. That's the one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to rattle my team and start watching film with them for 3 days on an opponent. We never do that. So I don't know the right way. I know what we do, and I know what works for this team, so that's what we did. The tough turnaround is if you win and you play Saturday, because you don't have much time. You're just going to do the best you can with that one.
Right down here.
Kareem Copeland, AP. Are there any positives that you took from the fact that 3 of your 4 losses came against the number 1 seed in the region?
We only lost to 2 teams all year. That's the positive. That's about it. We would like to get one of those, at least one of those games off them, but we didn't, and they controlled all 3 of the games. I'm just gonna tell you, they're good. So, we didn't play well against them the 3rd game in the first half. The other 2 games we played decent against them. So that'd be it. I mean, they're good. If we'll see what happens. See if we can see how we can do Thursday. And I think our guys, even though we lost our last game to them, I think our guys, they understand they're playing against a good team when they play Gonzaga. So I think our confidence is fine. I don't think it damaged us that way.
Okay. Oh, there you go, right back there.
This is this group of players' first time in the tournament. Do you address that as a coach, or do you just let the moment kind of take care of itself?
It's a concern because playing in the NCAA tournament is unique. There's nothing like it. So I can try and tell them, hey, this is what it's like, and I have, just these things, media sessions, whatever. You're 40 minutes on the court. All those things are different. There's nothing like it. The excitement, you're hearing about it every day at school, the brackets, the whole thing. It's one of the biggest sporting events in this country. So how do you prepare some guys who've never been in it, and some guys, 7 of them who aren't from this country, for this event? I don't know if we just try and keep things as norm as we can. And but I have talked to him about it, and I've talked to him about we have to be ready to compete. You can't go to the NCAA tournament just to play. If you do, you'll be going home after the first day.
Okay, any more questions for Coach Bennett? All right. Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck tomorrow.